everyone. Welcome to Colson. This is our second entry into our new product launches with training, and I'm here at the new Albion facility in Albion, Michigan, where we manufacture all of our heavy-duty products. Behind me is our new Amada fiber laser that we use to manufacture and cut all of our thick gauge materials for our heavy-duty product. This is a new machine that was installed in this facility less than a year ago, and it's up to full production speed now. Oh, we've caught it at a good time. We're actually in the middle of the sheet change. Out comes a sheet of completed laser cut top plates, it looks like. And in will go the new sheet for the next production to avoid any production downtime for a changeover. From here, we're going to move on to our next key operation that was installed this year here at the Albion facility. As you know, in this plant, it's 100,000 square feet, very high ceiling, has plenty of product storage and lots of manufacturing space. So we've continued to advance and add to our capabilities and advance our technology to the latest. We're coming now upon our newest machining center installation, which is our Murata fully automated king-pinless raceway cutting system. The system behind me, you see, is fully automatic, capable of running lights out. It actually has robotic load and unload, automatic gauging, part cleaning, and stack down. So this can actually run in a lights out condition for over 8 hours between material changes. This has helped us expand our capabilities of U.S. manufacturing here in the United States for our Colson Albion brands of product. Great. Now we're going to move on to head toward our offices here, where we also have a facility set up for doing new product introductions and releases to the marketplace. You'll see lots of machinery you're familiar with here. Many of these were in the other plant prior to moving, but a lot of new stuff has been added as well, with some multi-million-dollar investments into machinery and equipment on top of tens of millions into our new facility here. Make it a top-notch manufacturing operation for heavy-duty product. Here today, we're here to talk about our new CG Max 3-inch wide. This is an exciting new product that we're launching to the market, geared to fit into all of our heavy-duty products. We manufacture our 310, 410s here. We also manufacture all of our heavy-duty products, of which the CG Max is going to be one of the key wheels. Offered in sizes from 6 through 12-inch, multiple tread patterns. This is going to be the most ergonomic 3-inch wide wheel on the market. With that said, we're going to move to our product expert to tell you a lot more at this. Thanks for coming along at this tour. We'll see you at the facility.
Hello everyone, and welcome. My name is Alina Gumko. I'm a marketing operations specialist here at Colson Group, and with me today is Brian Crane, our heavy duty product manager. We're super excited to be here with you today at our brand new Albion manufacturing facility to talk about our newest addition to the CG Max line, the 3-inch wide wheel. A couple of notes for you all today on our call. We'll be talking through some questions and answers, then we'll be hearing from our engineering department, and then at the end of the call, we'll be taking audience live questions. So as we go, please submit any questions you have throughout the call into the Q&A, and we'll be reading through those and answering those at the end. Brian, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Elena.
So first question is the obvious one. Why a 3-inch wide wheel?
Well, the tremendous success of the 2-inch wide CG Max family of wheels, we had many customers requesting the larger sizes with increased capacities. Customers are dealing with rough floors, heavy loads, floor debris, but they still need equipment to move smoothly throughout the day. The existing CG Max line already performed really well in those environments, but we saw an opportunity to give customers even more stability and capacity with the wider wheel design. So this really came from real application feedback. Customers needed something tougher for more demanding conditions. We now have that with the 3-inch wide CG Max in 6, 8, 10, and 12 inches, both crown and round tread, and capacities up to 5,300 pounds per wheel. This pairs up very well with our 310, 410 series of kingpinless casters.
And so in comparison to the other products in the CG Max line, say the 2-inch wide, what stands out with this 3-inch wide wheel now in comparison to products like that?
Well, the biggest thing obviously is the wider tread. With it, the big jump in capacity. The extra width helps spread the load out better, gives the wheel a more stable feel under heavy equipment. Beyond that, a lot of attention went into ride quality also. Smoother movements, better control, better performance over rough surfaces, all with industry-leading durability and longevity. The goal was to make it work better in the kinds of environments our customers are actually dealing with.
You mentioned earlier that this product came about in response to customer feedback. So what would you say is the biggest value that it delivers for our customers?
Well, for customers, the value really comes down to confidence and reliability. They need equipment moving efficiently. They need products that can handle demanding environments, withstanding the toughest conditions, and they need solutions that help support uptime and operational consistencies. The new 3-inch wide CG Max wheel was designed for just that, to help customers achieve all of that while improving overall mobility performance in challenging applications, all with improved ergonomics and efficiency over traditional polyurethane wheels. The aluminum core design allows us to take weight out. It makes the wheel lighter than the standard cast iron core wheels. So even though it's lighter, it still handles the extreme load capacity the market needs. From a broader perspective, it's a reflection on how we approach innovation at Colson Group. We're constantly listening to customers, understanding real application challenges, and engineering solutions around those needs.
Exactly, I agree. When you look at a wheel like this, it probably sounds simple at first. You're just making the tread wider, but I'm guessing it's not quite that easy. I'm sure that there's a lot of work that goes into making that happen behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Numerous hours of engineering design, development, and testing went into this product. Once you change the wheel footprint, it affects everything: capacity, stability, ergonomics, rolling performance, all of it. The engineering team spent a lot of time testing different designs to make sure the wheel performed the way we wanted it to. And honestly, Chris can tell you more about that and explain it better than I can.
Agreed. Let's head over to Todd and Chris in our engineering department.
Thanks, Alina. I'm sitting here with Chris Tyke, our heavy-duty engineering manager. Chris, before we talk about the wheel itself, I think it's important to take a step back and talk about what's happening in the market. Facilities are getting larger, loads are getting heavier, and companies are being asked to move more material with fewer people. At the same time, there's a growing focus on worker safety, productivity, and ergonomics. That's exactly why products like CG Max matter and why we're excited about this new 3-inch offering. So Chris, when you and the engineering team started working on this product, what problem were you really trying to solve?
One, the need of a complete portfolio of products in our CG Max lineup. We had the 1.25 inch, we had the 2-inch, we didn't have the 3-inch. 3-inch was met obviously with the innovation of the CG Max 3-inch wide, which is what we're talking about. Fills the gaps for our customers, hits higher capacities for them, as well as ordering a caster that can be more cost effective to them to do the exact same thing for what used to be a higher cost caster. So they requested more stability in their product. When we provided more stability, that was done by 2 different offerings of the wheels, done by a round wheel and also done by a crown wheel. We were able to hold the heavier loads on the crown wheel. Round wheel, of course, gives you the best ergonomics that were in the field. Mm-hmm. These things are well used in areas that have rough floors. They can go over obstacles. They've been tested in environments where we've run over obstacles in our durability cycles, and we've ensured that these do pass the ICWM requirements, and we are ready for these to hit the market. The goal wasn't just a wider wheel. The goal was, how do we broaden the market for CG Max as a whole? And we got that right in front of you today.
Excellent. So You mentioned ergonomics. One thing we spent a lot of time on lately is talking about ergonomics. Colson Group's been working alongside researchers from the University of Michigan to better understand the impact that push forces and worker fatigue can have in today's facilities. So how much did that thinking influence the development of this product?
A lot. So ergonomics is truly one of the number one things we hear about. How hard is it to move a cart for material handling? How hard is it to move a cart just in any manufacturing location? So it's to the forefront of the innovation behind this product. We came out with the CG Max 2-inch, great success in the field, and we realized that we need to do the exact same philosophy to carry the heavier loads that our customers were requiring. So very, very in the forefront for all of our innovation.
Oh, great. And that's something people don't always think about. And when we talk about mobility, we're really talking about people.
Right.
And a lot of workplace injuries are related to pushing and pulling and repetitive material handling. So the easier equipment is to move, the better the experience for the operator.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, you mentioned ICWM testing. Okay, let's talk about testing because that's where Colson Group really separates itself. A lot of companies can build a wheel, but not everyone has the engineering resources to validate performance the way we do. So what kind of testing do we do, and what kind of testing did this wheel go through?
Sure. So this product was tested on a static load and a dynamic load. When we apply the dynamic load to this, we do what's called a rollability test. A rollability test is what's going to present itself to the market for the success story within the ICW spec. And that rollability test is one where we roll that constantly around an apparatus that has a significant amount of weight on it, the capacity of what these casters need to be, and then it rolls over a barrier. So we're running this through a distance, and that distance with the barrier is what allows us to go out to the field to say that this does pass a certain distance spec, which is inside of the ICWM.
Yeah, the CG Max platform has already demonstrated significant ergonomic advantages and longer life expectancy compared to leading competitive alternatives. So what are you most excited about with this new 3-inch version specifically?
I'm excited to see all the success stories I see when I'm out in the field. So I like to go out to the field. I hear about, hey, this is performing really well. We hear it's performing well in manual solutions. It's performing well in towable solutions. And in those solutions is where I get to come back to the manufacturing facility and the R&D team here and say, look, what we did matters. And the story outside that the world gets to see is something that was a testament to the development time that you guys put into it.
Yeah, that's great. One thing I love about this launch is that it perfectly reflects who Colson is. We don't just manufacture wheels and casters, we help partners solve mobility challenges. And that's really what this product is all about.
Yep.
So Chris, what application should immediately make our partners think about the new 3-inch CG Max?
Tons of different industries. You could say aerospace, you could say automotive, you could say a lot in the material handling aspect. Anything where you're going to have rolling on a surface that you want to have it easy swivelability, easy start of a cart or a towable unit is where this is going to shine. There's also a wonderful example of the aluminum side of this. You don't have to deal with the rust, as well as lightweight applications where you need some high capacities.
So what's exciting about this launch is it's not just a bigger wheel. It's another example of how Colson Group applies engineering expertise, real-world application knowledge, and advanced manufacturing to solve mobility challenges for our partners. And sitting here in Albion, Michigan, at our newest manufacturing facility, it's a great reminder that innovation doesn't happen by accident. It happens when engineering, manufacturing, and our partner input all come together. So thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Todd.
And Alina and Brian, back to you.
Chris, Todd, thanks again for joining us and giving everyone a behind-the-scenes look at the engineering process. And Brian, thanks today for all your insights in our discussion. Now, in the last few minutes of our call, we're going to welcome Chris back on, and then we'll transition into an audience Q&A. Welcome back, Chris.
Hey, Alina. Hey, Brian.
Yes.
So, some questions for you guys. We'll start with the first one. What top hat and bearing options are available for these wheels?
Sure, good question. So it comes standard with a 3/4 inch top hat with a self-retaining ring that you see here. You've got your self-retaining ring that we've had in our standard 2-inch wide CG Max wheels. And we can also offer this in a 1 inch and an 1.25 inch variant that would have to be ordered at the time of ordering a wheel, as well as stainless steel options for those corrosive environments where we're trying to avoid any type of rust.
So that gets us into our next question for you, Brian. What are some environments or applications where you should not use these wheels?
So as Chris mentioned, the standard would not be a very good fit in a corrosive environment, salt water, that type of environment, without doing the stainless steel specials. The other applications obviously would be avoid the high heat applications that will not withstand that.
Great. And then next question is, what colors are available for these wheels?
So we stock the 3-inch wide in our standard maroon color. We can do any colors needed with a high volume or special run.
And then we have another question here about the top hats being self-retaining, which we've already gone through, but they are self-retaining as with all the other products in our CG Max line. And then, as the last question for our call today, what resources are available to customers? And I can actually answer this one. So we have plenty of resources available up on our Colson Group USA website. We have CAD models and spec sheets available for download, as well as individual SKUs which are live on the site. Our brochure and literature is also up on that website under our resources page. If you do require any additional resources or materials, please reach out to your RSM or CEC and they would be happy to assist you in getting those. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you again to everyone who joined us for the launch of the new CG Max 3-inch wide wheel. This product is a great example of how Colson Group continues to develop innovative mobility solutions built around customer applications and real-world performance. Before we wrap up, we'd like to leave you with one final video highlighting the product in action.